Hello and welcome to this commentary on my latest LEGO The Hobbit any percent PB. I got this PB yesterday as I'm recording, but have just had time to be able to trim it down and commentate on it, so here we go. It's been a while since I've been back at this category, but I started playing it a couple days ago, went, hey, this is pretty cool. I want to get a PB in this, because I haven't had a PB for ages and I'm like 5th on the boards. And I really wanted to give myself a more representative time. I've got my new PC, which means I can do kind of bigger tricks. So I thought, it's time I might as well give this a bit of a go, and we got this 11:21. Or 11:20 I think on retime. I need to double check that. But yeah, we're making our way through the first level here. We have to complete the first level in its entirety. It's quite a long level. In fact, it makes up pretty much half the world record. But what I'm doing at the moment is playing it quite safe, because I didn't want to sit there for hundreds of attempts at the moment and like just keep on grinding out the first level when there are so many mistakes that I'll make in the rest of the run, because I'm not confident in the tricks later in the run. So instead I'm doing restricted any percent strats at the moment, which are the ones I'm most confident with. So my FPS is actually capped at 60 here as well, I believe. I was kind of alternating between capping FPS and then not bothering with it, but I think it's capped at the moment. We get gem skip here. A lot of practice with that one. I get very annoyed if I mess that up now, but it hasn't happened in a while. And then we just make our way through, really. This room, there's not too much to talk about. You just gotta do like what you're supposed to do, really. Which in this case is getting the wood and the rope. We got a bit unlucky with the wood there. Ideally you want 4 wood and 2 rope from those like first 2 drops. We got not that, we got like, I think it was 2 wood and 4 ropes. So it means with the player here we need to go and get wood, which is a little bit annoying, but it doesn't cost too much in the end. You've got a bit of delay before you can switch to Bofa, I think, to be able to then do this. What I was also paying attention to here was the gem RNG. Kind of after this build we got to mine 3 bits of the rock outcrops. So paying attention to that is always useful. I think from what I remember here, player 2, I kind of just end up mashing with player 2. And then player 1, I actually try and time the hits, because a perfect hit means you break it in 1. And a not perfect hit means it takes 3 hits to break it. So yeah, I get the perfect hits with player 1, who is on the right. 2 perfect hits, that's pretty smooth. I'm like a couple of seconds behind where I'd want to be here, but it's not too bad.
Smoke.
On to barrier skip now. This is something that can only be done with player 2. Again, this is another restricted 80% strat, so I'm rather confident on it. But basically player 2 moves earlier, and you can jump before an invisible wall forms and get over that kind of rock section. I was playing it safe, jumping down the stairs. And then in this room, this is where technically the first actual any percent strat comes up. I guess rather than restricted 80%, which is this launch here. I'm doing it as a V-sync launch up this rope, because if I alt tab I actually get too much height and it just loses me time, so it's not worth it. But 60 FPS here, land on the top and then fall back behind the door. That's the first kind of proper strat, I guess, for any percent in this run. There are a couple more launches you can do in this level, but I opted not to go for them. And now this room is a strat I've been struggling so much with. These buffer jumps. I can get the first ones quite consistently, but the second one I've been really struggling with. However, in this run I mess up the first ones. So yeah, I then got to try and high roll for a vertical buddy up, which the game does not like to give me. Eventually it does. and then try these buffer jumps again. What you've got to do is each time you land, you've got to like re-grab the jump button and release all directional controls. And I think for some reason on VSync off, the game's a little bit less lenient with that than it is with VSync on. That's why I don't go for the last buffer jump at the end. I just decided to hover because it's a lot safer. It does mean we lose a lot of time though. Yeah, I just haven't got a clean run through there yet, which is really annoying, but we move through this auto-scroll, and this auto-scroll was very simple. I think I was not paying attention at all, so I do accidentally collect the mini-kit, which is like, what, a second of time loss maybe? But anyway, we finished that section. All good. But yeah, as you can see, we end up quite far behind. But that's fine, because like, I know the rest of my PB was bad because I didn't have my new PC, so I was doing restricted any % strats, I think, in the hub here as well. Whereas now I'm very much not doing that. Yeah, we jump up here. And then make our way over this way. This is pretty simple. Well, it's a nice VSync launch going up the hill. The one thing that's weird in this game is just the timing of VSync launches. It's very different to Lord of the Rings, so kind of coming between the both, it's not, you know, coming from one to the other, it's not the easiest thing to do. But we make it with like plenty of room to spare over that one, and then we just have this long walking section over to room 3 of level 13. I guess I should actually explain like what we're doing here. Basically, this game's kind of weird in the new way that games, or the LEGO games, changed around this time, in that in free play you can go into different subsections of each level. So each level will be split into 1 or 2 or 3 subsections. And in those subsections you can actually re-enter into the level and just spawn in that section in free play. However, what that does is the devs did not think to remove those doors from the overworld, so we can hit those doors. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the door for the third section of level 13, and by doing that we kind of skip everything before it. Not quite, but kind of. And then we can VSync launch from here. Again, I'm having to delay the timing of the Hobbits just because it's a bit weird, but we get that launch relatively cleanly, just about make it over. Yeah, that launch is a bit weird because it's not just pure height, it's like the bouncing you get from the hill itself. We hit the trigger and we're a nice bit ahead, almost golded that one as well. But then yeah, we don't complete level 13 because this isn't restricted any %. Instead we just quit on out. And what this does is this unlocks horses for us, which are number 1, faster movement, and number 2, allow us to hit the door for the last room in level 16, the very last level. So we do a small launch here. You actually don't need anywhere near the amount of height that I got there, but I was on 60 FPS anyway to hit the trigger for level 13, room 3, so I might as well just keep it on like that. There's no real... I know in Record, Hamster does the VSync off trigger hit, so then just does like a pause roll to be able to get up there, but I am not quite skilled enough for that yet. I need to learn the VSync off trigger hit if I want to push this time down, get a sub 11. Which is surprisingly not that far off. Like, literally all I need is a cleaner Greatest Kingdom. Without the problems I had with buffer jumping. And we'd be there. Which is kind of wild to me. But yeah, we move. It's funny that like my run right now is 30 seconds behind my summer best. And my summer best is, what, 18 seconds behind what I actually get in the end? Yeah, spoilers, we got a big gold coming up here. But yeah, we gotta make our way over here. One of the reasons why this category is like not run as much, because horse clips sucks. While I was doing attempts, I was also kind of in Origin of Chaos's chat, and every now and then he'd just get a spam of "I hate horse clip." Horse clips attack coming up, and yeah, it tends to be, or likes to be, quite inconsistent. But we land down here, jump over this way, and then we're going to do another Alt-Tab launch here. This is a very consistent Alt-Tab launch, which is why I like it. We get a little bit above the amount of height we want. Ideally you'd fall kind of under that rock, but we land just there, which gives us a respawn in case we mess up horse clip. Again, that's a bit of a low risk play because, well, quite frankly right now, I could take a minute here and still PB. But we get horse clip part 1 just there. Landing on this ledge is so painful, but then we do the setup to be able to fall into the trigger, and that is the last room of level 16, and then we'll finish up the run just here. Very simple launch to finish off the run. Done some mashing. I actually messed up my mashing a bit, I wasn't that quick. But yeah, that's time. So yeah, that's my new PB. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and yeah, I'll see you next time.